Hello creative crafters, this is Catherine with aMotleyArt. This is Sketch 2 for She's Crafty MiniPad class. This is a 10-week class. You can follow along with me by subscribing to my channel. I will have a link to Sharon's video in the description box. I'm also going to start a playlist for all of these 10 weeks. So if you subscribe to my channel, you'll be able to see that playlist. I have sped up my process video 2 times, and I am creating a second page from the scraps I used in Sketch 1. I will add a card above to that video so you can see where all these scraps came from. I was creating a second page layout because I had 2 very similar photos that I wanted to go ahead and use. I like to take nature photos, so that's what I'm scrapbooking today. And I wanted to stretch out my scraps so you can see a couple of times where I've cut scraps in half, or not even quite in half, but apart from each other. That way when I layer my matting on top, it'll be covered, but it'll look like it's one solid long piece of paper. That's always a fun way to stretch your scraps out, especially, if it's the last piece of paper that you have with that image, but you really want to get a look where it's going across the whole page. So you can see here that I'm just starting to do my layering, and I did add, one solid piece of cardstock into this image, into this layout, because I wanted just a little bit of relief with that solid piece of paper. So I really do love the look of layers. Usually I would have backed each one of these pattern papers with a solid cardstock to create layers, but I really wanted to try with these 2 sketches to do more of just the pattern on pattern look, because I also really do like that. But I have struggled with that. When I first started scrapbooking, I tried to do that and I didn't like my results. I got frustrated a little bit, and I kind of moved on to some other crafts for a while. And when I found Sharon's YouTube channel and she just puts pattern on top of pattern in such a beautiful way, I really started watching those videos a lot to try to figure out, how is she doing it? How is she getting that nice cohesive look so it doesn't look chaotic with all of those different pattern pieces? And one of the things that I've really learned is that you need to make sure that you have some very colors that go with each other and some varying of pattern itself. You don't want the scale of all of your patterns to be exactly the same, or then they just blend into each other. But if the scale is too far off, then sometimes it just looks chaotic and it doesn't look like they go together. So you want to vary the scale, but in a way that works really well with each other, and making sure that your colors look really good together. And so, when you work with paper pads, that's one of the lovely things about a paper pad, is that everything just goes together, right? The designers use the same color schemes, they use the same values throughout the whole paper pad, and so it just makes it so much easier for you to be able to get those layers on, and they look really pretty. So I did lose a little bit of footage, and I did decide to go ahead and put a title on this particular layout. On my last layout, I didn't put a title on there, and I don't always put a title, but I thought it would be fun to add these stickers on to say Junebug. I have had these stickers in my stash for years, since the early 2000s. I loved them, but I could never quite figure out how I wanted to use them. I just thought they worked really well with these papers because they're all a little bit vintagey. So it was really nice to use those typewriter image on this layout. And I really loved the way that it came out. And I also, I didn't try to make them straight. I kind of let them be a little wibble wobbly. And I just think that's fun. I just think it gives this page a really nice whimsical look, and I really like that. I like a little bit of whimsy on my layouts, and my collages. So here I'm just going and adding a few of my elements to my clusters, just trying to decide how I want those to look. And I decided to bring in a doily. That way, again, it's going to be cohesive with my other layout because I used one there. So by using a lot of the same elements, they're just going to look really nice together. They're going to go really well. And I just like how this layout is kind of soft. And when you put the images on, they just really do pop. It just makes those daisies come to life, and I just love daisies. So I like that it really helped the images really pop off of the page. So I did go ahead and for the lighter elements, those stars and the little bird at the top, I did use some ink around the edges to help them stand out a little bit. Plus, I think it kind of works well with the wood veneer because they have darker edges due to the way they burn the wood veneer. And so that way they kind of all work together. They look like they're meant to go together. So then I decided to use some more enamel dots, and I decided to go with the white ones again so that I would have the same elements as I did on the first one, on the first sketch. And I was thinking about using those gold ones first. That's why I had pulled them out first, but I decided no, let's stick with the white. But I wanted a little bit of bling, so then I brought out some of those little sparkles, the little silver pieces, and those are from Close to My Heart, and I love them. They're the bitty sparkles, and they just put a nice bit of shine onto your project, and I just really love the way that they look. So I sprinkle a few of those around the layout just to bring everything together, and I really ended up with the butterflies and a lot of the elements. I kind of created a nice diagonal, so it really brings your eye around, right? It brings your eye down, then you go to the title, and then kind of back up. And so it's a nice way to bring your eyes around the whole page and take in the whole page. In case this is the first video that you are watching in this MiniPad class, I do 6x6 layouts. Sharon does 12x12 layouts, and a lot of the people playing along with her are doing 12x12 layouts. But I really like to do smaller layouts. I just find that they're easier for me to get done. So here is sketch 1 that I did in the previous video, and I am adding a little bit of a title now. So just to really make these two sketches cohesive, I brought in 09 because these pictures are from 2009. Thanks for watching. Have a crafty day.